Hello guys, welcome again to my channel, and today we're doing a timeless reading, and the purpose of this reading is to find out what is keeping you from moving forward, what's keeping you stuck, what's keeping you from moving ahead. All right, so this is what this reading is going to be about. We have 3 piles to choose. The first pile is the egg. Here it is. Sort of a dinosaur egg, all cracked up, which has all the symbol of potentiality. Remember, that's what the egg's, new beginnings, new birth. All right, this is the egg. Then we have pile number 2, the eye. And by the way, I'll leave behind in the description box all the timestamps for each and every single one of the piles, so you can go ahead whenever you choose and pick the pile number that you like, and it will move you right to that point. Then the second pile, we have the eye. All right, this is obviously clearly a reptilian eye. Nevertheless, very important, the eyesight to see where we're going, right? To move into the future, we need the eye to see. And lastly, we have the ammonite, the fossil. For those of you who like fossils, here's the ammonite. The ammonite is considered in many civilizations, in many cultures, to be a symbol of good luck, of transformation, and also of transmutation. So here it is. So here are the 3 piles, guys. Choose one, whatever your intuition guides you to, whatever you feel like choosing, and then go to the timestamp, and it will take you right to the beginning of the video of each one of them. All right, if you chose pile number 1 with the egg, the cracked egg, nevertheless, it is here for you. And let's find out what this reading has to offer for you. All right, let me bring the egg here. And remember, this is a reading about what's keeping you from moving forward, what's keeping you stuck. All right, so let's take a look at the first card. It's going to be the Page of Wands. The second one is going to be the 8 of Pentacles. The third one is going to be the Sun. Oh, this is nice. This is a nice card. And then I see here the King of Swords. All right, so let's start here, all right, with the Page of Wands. All right, so when we look at the Page of Wands, the first thing I see is inquisitiveness, curiosity, all right? So what this is sort of like telling me is there is maybe you need to look inside a little more, all right, where we need to be a little more sensitive and a little more introspective, all right? Look inward as opposed to being looking outward for solutions. It does feel like the inner world in your mind, that's where the solution is to move forward. This is a call to stop being outbound, if you will, with your look, with your emotions, with your focus, with your attention, and it's calling for you to bring also an interior side, okay, an inner siding, all right? So this is the first thing that I would say for the people who pick the card with the egg, all right? You have to start looking towards the inside, because then we have the 8 of Pentacles. And I feel when I look at this card that you might be missing enjoyable work, all right? This is a card of enjoyment, but since we're addressing the issue of what's preventing you from moving forward, this is a card that is calling for you to enjoy yourself a little more, all right? To have some me time, to have some enjoyment in your life, also some humor, all right? So this is a good card that calls, for example, for self-love, basically, you know, take a massage if you can, have a mani-pedi, go hiking, go to the mountain, go to the beach, sit down and relax. You don't have to be, you know, on TikTok all the time or on the TV. You can maybe sit down for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you want, and just sit and relax, okay? Because this is calling for that. The good thing, you know, when I say this is that this is going to fit into this card. Because when you're settled, all right, when you have that sense of enjoyment, this allows you to do the that allows you to do the introspection a whole lot better. It's very hard to be introspective when you're busy taking care of like everything around you, all right? So if you're busy, please make sure to have some time to yourself, right? Read a book that you like, not a book for purposes of learning or instruction. Something that you like. If you have a hobby, spend time with your hobby. If you have a pet, a cat, a dog, spend time with them, all right? If you have kids, obviously spend time with your kids. But, do something that is loving towards yourself, all right? This is not about pleasing and taking care of others. This is really about taking care of yourself. So that's one of the things that is preventing you from moving forward, all right? Not taking time for yourself and not enjoying yourself, all right? So let's go to the third card here, is the Sun. And mind you, this is a timeless reading, all right? And for anyone who gets into this reading, this is for you at any given time, all right? This is how this works. So enjoy this reading, and let's go now for the Sun. So with the Sun here, what I want to say, of course, you have the bright, shining side, big, bright, shining sun. And it feels to me that you are forgetting to shine a light upon yourself, all right? Because this is a card of success, typically, all right? But the one thing that might be preventing you from moving ahead, from succeeding, all right, is that sense of shining a light on yourself and believing in yourself, all right? Having a remembrance, remember how great you are, remember how powerful you are, remembering your inner core, all right? Remembering that the circumstances that are facing you right now may be difficult, might be challenging, might not be pleasant, but they're temporary. Because remember, the sun always comes and dispels the darkness, right? Dispels the fog, if you will, all right? So it is time for you to, and this is fascinating, right? Because we started with introspection, right? Then with some time also to enjoy yourself. And this bright light that is coming from you, okay, because we are talking here about an internal sun, all right, can only shine through if you are calm, right? And then you have searched for it. See what we're going through? See the theme of this reading for you, okay? It feels like what I see here, the theme is taking care of yourself, right? This is the theme that I'm getting here, all right? It's for you guys who are watching this video. The theme, what the obstacle is for you, even though it might seem it is external, right? Because when we think of obstacles, we think of something that is out there, preventing us, or kind of like the word itself is an obstacle, right? That we need to jump ahead, or to jump on top of it to move ahead. Really, these cards are really more about you are the one who needs to bring yourself to light, bring yourself to the sun, all right, in order then to move forward, in order for you to succeed, all right? So this is a great card in this reading. And let's go now and see what we have to say about the King of Swords, right? So with the King of Swords, just so you know, the suit of swords has to do with the mind, with thinking, right? And just so you know, I'll leave a link up here with the description of what the suit of swords means if you're interested in finding out more about this, because this is a very important suit in the tarot, the sword, all right? It's double-edged. So remember, you can think well or you can think badly about yourself or others, all right? So I'll leave a link here. Here it is. And this will take you if you're interested in seeing more about the Suit of Swords. So as I was saying, the Suit of Swords has to do with thinking, with not so much only thinking, but analyzing and cutting, if you will. This is a sword, right? A blade. So we're cutting the good from the bad. We're making a discernment between light and dark, right? Between good and evil. So this is what this is about. Now, typically this card, what it usually says to us is that we have also old beliefs, old systems that need to be cut, that need to be released, all right? That need to be let go. So with this card, it encourages you to do, what it invites you to do is to let go of old beliefs that you have, Most likely, according to this reading so far, this is all beliefs that you have about yourself. All right? Hear me out again. Let go of the old belief that you have about yourself that are not about light, about enjoyment, and about inner curiosity. Those are the things that you have to work through. Not through, actually. These are the things that will bring you goodness, that will bring you success, that will move you forward. If you're stuck, this is the key for you. And in this case, just to add, because this has a very cohesive theme, doesn't it? Just remember, let go also as you do these steps of, introspection, enjoyment, like we have here. Also, as that comes in, then you have the space, hopefully, right? You create the space for yourself where you can let go of the old beliefs. Things are not good for you anymore. Things are not solutions for you, and things are not bringing you the benefit, and things are not moving you forward as you want to move forward, all right? So thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe if you like the video, if you found any value on what I said. And also leave a comment. Just say yes and let me know how this reading was for you, if it was accurate, if you identify yourself with it. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, group number 2. Here we are with the eye, all right? This is a reptilian eye, obviously. And if you chose, this is the reading for you about what is obstructing you, what is not letting you move forward, what is keeping you from moving ahead, all right? So let's take a look at this. Let's put the card right here. And let's look at the first card for you guys. I hope you guys are doing well, and I am loving you're here today looking at this video. This is, by the way, a timeless video. So whenever you see this video, and if you're feeling stuck, that you need to move forward, this is the reading for you. All right, so let's take a look at the first card. I have here the Three of Cups. We have now the Knight of Wands. Just a little lower. We have here now the Two of Wands also. Isn't that weird how the cards keep moving? And lastly, we have the Emperor. All right. So let's take a look at this, guys. Let me put this aside. And let's start with the Three of Cups, shall we? So when I look at this card here, and given the context of the whole reading and what is preventing you from moving ahead, typically this is a card of celebration and of sharing. But in this context, what I see here is that you might be oversharing, overextending yourself, all right? Both possibly emotionally and or physically, all right? So what this calls is for you to restrain a little bit yourself and control your energy and maintain your energy, okay? Sort of keeping it for yourself, keeping it as a bubble, right? Because what's happening here, there is kind of an energy leakage, if you will. Energy is leaking from you. And because you're busy doing other things, might be work, might be family, might be circumstances of life. This is not, this is not a blaming game, right? We're not saying by any means that you are just pushing ahead and being irresponsible. That's not at all. It just means sometimes we have to be remembered, and this is why you're here, possibly, all right? To be remembered, to be reminded that you need to pull yourself back a little bit from that oversharing and overextending yourself, all right? You might be going through a lot of, maybe also social events, which is lovely. After we went through COVID, it's lovely to have those, opportunities to partake with other people, with friends, with family, of nature, right? But there is also a word of caution here. Like, it's lovely, but like everything, is good in measure, all right? We don't want to overextend, overdo it. So this is the first card that I see here of one of the reasons why you are not moving ahead, is you're not maintaining your energy. You're sort of like flushing it away a little bit, if you will, all right? So after that, let's take a look at the Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, what I see here is also impatience, right? You see this gentleman here. Let me just bring it close to you so you can look at it. I love the imagery of the tarot. See how he's charging ahead, how the horse is like pretty much about to jump, moving forward really fast. And in some circumstances, that's lovely. In your case, for this reading, what's happening is you're being too quick to move, too fast. Isn't this, again, so weird how the cards can move all of a sudden, right? Anyway, so this is what's happening with this card. You're moving too fast. You have a tendency to jump ahead before thinking, before reflecting. So it is important. This card is calling you and inviting you and reminding you as well to pull back a little bit, all right? Not to jump ahead at the first conclusion, not to jump ahead at the first thought. Instead, just see what's going on, think about it, right? Contemplate it, measure it, analyze it, and then do the right thing, whatever step it is, right? But you really, there are more chances that you may do a wrong step if you don't think about it before. Think about it as moving in the dark, right? So if you're not seeing, which is the theme, remember, this is what you chose, right? So if you're not seeing where you're moving forward, where you're moving towards, it's very likely that you can trip. Just as easy as that, right? So it's very important that you take a look before moving forward. We're not saying, this card's not saying do not move. This is not a card advising you to stay frozen, not at all. It's just inviting you to take a look before you move. All right, same thing. If you're in the dark, you have to accustom your eyes to the dark. Remember, when you come into a dark room, if you just charge ahead, most likely you're going to bump into something, hopefully not a wall, but you could bump into a wall, right? Hit yourself. So what you want to do when you walk into a dark room is just stop for a little bit. You accustom your eyes, you accustom your sight, and then little by little you start seeing what's around you, and then you move forward more securely. So this is what this card is about, all right? Do not charge ahead immediately. Stop and contemplate, and then you can move forward more easily and more importantly, with more wisdom, which is what we all want to have, all right? We want to have knowledge and we have to have wisdom. And what is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge in action. So you first gain the knowledge and then you act with wisdom. Isn't that wonderful? All right, so let's take a look now at the third card that you picked from the eye. And this is going to be the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands speaks to us about spiritual knowledge, all right? This is also a card of insight, if you will, all right? See how this gentleman is holding the world in his hands and he's looking ahead, right? Which is kind of the purpose of this reading, is how to move ahead. How can I get past my circumstances, or what I think are external circumstances? So this gentleman is looking ahead. He's holding the world in his hands, right? Which is, it kind of brings your thought, or should bring your thought to about like, I hold the world in my hands. All the potentiality is in me, right? But I have to make choices. We have two wands, right? And look how the wands, let me just show you here. Look how the wands, they all have like little sprinkles of leaves, new blooms are coming up, almost like a springtime kind of thing. So what this means is potential in these actions, because the wands is a suit of actions. I'll also leave a link here, just remember, for the suit of wands. It's a very important suit in the tarot. So I'll leave a link up in the screen. I'll leave it right here. Here it is. You can have it. And this talks about action, all right? So I recommend you guys take a look at that video if you're interested. It's a short, nice little video that talks about the suit. But going back to the card, this one in particular, this one is talking about, because it's a spiritual card and it's also spiritual choices and potentiality, what it's asking you to do is to pay more attention to your intuition, all right? This is a card of intuition, all right? See how the theme is developing right here on the cards? So we first say we have to control our energy. Then we have to not jump ahead, which in a way is also a form of controlling your mind, your energy. And then you start to make choices. And those choices happen, or it's encouraged you to make them through also the assistance of your intuition, all right? Because this is a spiritual card. Even though it's an action card, because it's the suit of wands, it's also a card that has to do with intuition, all right? Because we have two choices here, all right? And how do you get to choose the choice? You have to make a decision. And how do you make the decision? It's asking you to use your intuition, all right? So I'm loving this theme for you guys. It's all introspective and controlling your energies, all right? And finally, here we have for the last card, the Emperor. So let's take a look at the Emperor. So when I see here at the Emperor, what I am getting is you might have a little bit of a lack of organization. That's one possibility, all right? So you might need to organize yourself and your thoughts, more importantly. That's possibility number one. Or number two, you have a compulsion to achieve, all right? That's like your drive. So if you don't achieve, you feel like you're failing, all right? So you either have here a lack of organization, or you have a compulsion to achieve, or possibly both, all right? So what this is calling for you in this particular theme that we're dealing with today is if you have the organizational sort of like lack, if you will, then sit. Remember, this is all a card of controlling your energy. So this is inviting you and encouraging you and calling you, okay, to organize yourself a little bit. Because what happens, see, this is what I love the tarot. This is what I love these readings. See, you remember when we said in the beginning, you're overextending yourself and you're oversharing yourself, right? So what happens when you overshare and you overextend yourself? It's very hard to keep organized and have your mind organized and your thoughts in order. Because you're busy, right? Attending to other things, to other people's needs, to other people's cares, all right? And you're forgetting your own, all right? And this is where the intuition, the decision-making comes in, all right? So this is where I feel it's calling for you to get organized. Plain and simple. Get organized on your thoughts. And then number two, if you're organized, but you're having this sense of like compulsion to achieve things, this compulsion of an action, of needing to get things done and needing to get things, not only done, but, successfully, right? So I almost want to say you're addicted to success, right? And you feel like you failed if you didn't do or you achieved what you wanted to achieve, or what others said you should achieve, all right? This is calling them for you to bring a little bit more of self-assuredness to yourself, all right? Dispatch all those thoughts, dispatch all those people who are saying you should do this, you should do that. Dispatch your own thoughts, all right? Remember we said you have to look, all right, in your inner world and say, okay, I have value, even if I don't do this. Think about it. When you're sleeping, do you feel you're worth less than when you're, let's say, driving? Are you worth less when you're sleeping? Of course not. You're the same person. You're in a different activity, right? You're in a different mode, but you're not less worthy of anything because you're sleeping. You need to sleep. You need to take those hours of sleep in order to be energized for the next day. So it is the same concept here, all right? Are you worth less because you don't achieve? Question mark. That's a question for you, right? And that's something you need to find out. Because, the answer is no, you're not. You're worth how much you love, how much you share, how much you give, how much you are kind. Those are the real values, not achieving things, all right? It's lovely, the sense of achievement. I won't say that, right? Of course, it's lovely to have a sense of achievement, but achievement in itself cannot be your pillar, the pillar of your life, all right? The same thing, it's lovely to eat, right? When we have a good meal, it's absolutely lovely and we feel full and we have all these wonderful flavors and tastes. but you cannot make food the center of your life, because what would happen, right? You know what would happen to your health. So the same thing here. It's nice to have a sense of achievement and fulfillment, and have it by all means. Just don't overdo it. If you notice, I'll just give you a quick recap here. Not even a recap, just 2 words or 2 or 3 words here about the theme of this reading for you guys who chose the eye is control your energy. That's what this is all about. Control your energy. You are dispersed, all right? Or you might have been entertained by things. So if you want to move forward, which is what you're watching this video for, right? If you want to move forward, control your energy. Don't overextend yourself. Think about things. See, use your intuition and organize yourself, and don't make sort of like fake idols of yourself, right? You're worth so much more than any of the things you could accomplish in this world. So thank you so much for being here. I love you guys being on this video. Please like and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome, group number 3. We have here the Ammonite. If you chose the Ammonite, this is your reading with the question, what's stopping you from moving ahead? So you have the Ammonite. Let's just put it here so we can dive right into your cards. So let's take a look at this, all right? And again, this is a timeless reading. If you're watching this, it's because you want to move forward, and we need to find out what's stopping you from moving forward, from moving ahead. So the first card we have is the 5 of Wands, all right? Second card for you guys is the 6 of Pentacles. Third card, the Ace of Pentacles. I always love this card. And lastly, we have the Hermit. All right, so let's put these cards to the side here, and let's start talking about what is preventing you from moving ahead. Why are you stuck? And what you can do to move ahead in the situation, all right? So let's start with the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands, I'll say straightforward. This is a card of courage. We need to have courage in whatever it is that you're building. You see these people here, each one, they have the wands, and they don't know quite what to do with it. You can't even tell if they're dancing, fighting, building, right? So there's kind of a lack of cohesion here, all right? And that's kind of what I feel. It's one of the things that's preventing you from moving ahead, moving forward. There's a lack of cohesion, and this is where the courage comes in, because this is not external courage, this is internal courage, all right? When you have to look at yourself, not look at the situation. You can take a look at the situation, but understand the situation is just a reflection of what's going on with you internally, all right? So this is what the courage is called, where you have to look at yourself, where you have to take an inner look, all right? This is also, I would say, a card that is asking for harmony, all right? It's asking for, I want to say, to review. I want to say, yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like you need to review your priorities, because this is scattered energy here, all right? And that's why the courage is required, because we need to examine what it is that you want to achieve and what it is that you have in your hands right now, all right? Because remember, to go to point B, you have to first find out where you are. You have to find out where the point A is, which is, let's talk about this card. I don't want you to get confused with this one. We're talking about this one. So you have to find out where point A is, where you are, in order to get to point B. And this is what this card is calling for. It's inviting you to take a look and revise and assess where you are located right now. And I don't mean that geographically, all right? I don't mean what city you're on, what country you're on. This is calling for you to look at where you are located emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically, all right? So remember, we cannot move forward if we don't know where we are. So this is what this card is calling from you, or is asking from you, in order to move forward. All right. Look at the Ammonite. It's in spiral, right? You start moving forward. So you start in the center, little by little, little by little, little by little, until you come to the exit. So this is what this is asking for. So let's take a look at card number 2, which is the Six of Pentacles. This card talks to us about sharing and teamwork. Let's just put it here. So weird, right? How the cards move on their own. I'll leave it be for now. Feels like it wants to be that way, so we're just gonna let it be that way. So what this card, the Six of Pentacles, asks is for you to share. And there's two looks at this. So there's two ways to look at this, all right? One is to share in terms of, sharing of yourself, sharing of your abundance, if you have some, in charity, or sharing your time with friends, with family, sharing of yourself. But also in terms is calling for teamwork, meaning sharing your knowledge, all right, or sharing the activity that you are inclined to do with a team, all right? So this calls for a group. Can be also one person only, a team of 2. It doesn't have to be a team of 20 people. It can be a team of 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is, but it's calling for that absorption, if you will, of other people, all right? But you want to bring people into the mix. It's kind of interesting. One of the other 2 sets that, you picked the Ammonite, but one of the other 2 sets, it was very interesting because their energy, their reading was really about bringing the energy in, not socializing so much. In your case, it's about really bringing more people into your equation, into your project, into your world, all right? Again, do it carefully. That doesn't mean you can bring everybody and anybody, all right? We have to be careful about who we choose as companionships in our travels, right? And I mean travels of the soul. We don't want to bring bad energies or bad people, but it's definitely calling for you to bring people into you, bring yourself to people. You have to look at those 2 things. Are you shunning people away, or are people not inviting you because you're being closed off? And that's something that this card is requiring you and reminding you to do. Open yourself, bring of yourself to others, all right? And I know this doesn't seem initially like something, well, what does that have to do with me moving forward? And the reason might be for you guys is you might need the support of others in order to step forward, to move forward. There are stages in our lives where we can do, and we should do, our steps alone. And there are also steps in our travel, the travel of the soul, where we need the companionship, where we need the extra support, the extra companionship, all right? So this is the card for that. Now, let's take a look then at the Ace of Pentacles. See, with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like opportunities are being given to you, but you are not paying attention, or you are shunning them. You might feel you're not ready. You might feel it's too much. You might also have, and we'll review this when we go into this card and the Hermit. You might feel you're not worth it internally, because of course, externally in our conscious mind, we all think we deserve, Mercedes cars and travels and jewels and everything, right? But subconsciously, you might not feel you have or you deserve to have certain things, all right, that you don't deserve to move forward. So this is a completely inner process, all right? This is not an outer process. This is an inner process for you, where you have to look at also, well, why am I not worth it? You have to think about it. This is a question only you can ask, only you can answer for yourself. Why am I not worth it? And if you find the why, then you have to check with yourself and say, is that true? Is that the truth? Not is that true, is that the truth? All right. So this is something for you to consider. Why am I not worth it? And why is that not truth? Because of course we all are worth it. There's nonsense that you're not worth it, or that you don't deserve to step forward, that you don't deserve an advance. But there it is. It's given to you. Look at the hand. In terms of the tarot, this is the hand of God. This is divine grace intervention. And this is giving you, this is a card of success. All right. The question is, why are you not taking it? Right. And you may say, well, that's the whole reason I'm in this reading, right? is to find out why. Well, I'm telling you, part of it, as we've been seeing here before, is that you're not accepting it. You're not ready to take it, or you're not willing to take it. So think about that, all right? You may even replay this whole thing after we're done and maybe analyze for yourself, write down, a good way to do things is to write down at night, those thoughts. Why am I not worth it? Why am I pushing this? And refresh yourself in the morning. Look at the note again and see what comes to mind, all right? So let's look now at card number 4, the Hermit. And in this card of the Hermit, what it talks to us about is a need for reevaluation, all right? A need for understanding on your part. So we need to do some reevaluation of our beliefs, of our thoughts, right? I would say, if I'm being honest, this is the key card to this reading. I hope you guys made it so far, because this is kind of the key element of this reading for you, the key element why things are stuck for you. And that is because you need to go inwards. You need to do introspection, right? You need to reevaluate your beliefs, your life, where you're staring at. Because you also, if you're in this reading, chances are there's you might have a sense of confusion in your life, a lack of direction, or something like that. And what this is calling is for you to stop a little bit the circle of doubt, the circle of forgetfulness, if you will, and come back to your center, because that's what is keeping you from moving forward. All right. This card usually it talks about a spiritual development. All right. So we need to take a look at this also as part of your persona. Okay. Because in this world we are, it's just what it is. It's the way we were brought up, every single one of us, all right? With having to achieve things materially, not only in money, but, family. And we also have to, in many ways, in terms of finances, right? We all have to pay insurances and mortgages and rents and things like that. We have to buy food. So there's this pressure, right, if you will, to be very much focused into the material world, right? Into earning money, into earning things, right? Because that's how we survive in this world. And that's all fine, right? Because those are needed. I'm not saying by any means that we should not achieve those, but it's also very important to keep the balance, right? Because if you do too much of that, then you're losing yourself. And then when you lose yourself, that's when the doubt, that's when the whole lack of direction starts happening, all right? So it's very important that you, as you see the gentleman here, right, you shine a light. You see the imagery here? I love this card also. He's shining a light, on the path. He's shining a light on the path to see where he's going, which is exactly why you're here, right? You came to this reading trying to find out, how do I move forward? How do I move ahead? And the answer is very clear. Just look at the picture. It's on the light, on the inner light. If you look at it, it is a star, right? It's not a flame. Look at it, right? It's not a flame. It's a star. What does the star represent? The soul, right? So this is a card for inner search. And as I said, this is really the key card for this reading for you guys who chose the Ammonite. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this was useful for you guys. Please consider liking and subscribing on the channel. I would really appreciate it. I love doing these videos for you. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. And please, also, if you have any questions or if you feel any comments about this reading, if this connected with you, let me know. I love to hear what you guys think about each reading. And in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. God bless and be well.